Here comes your pre-market summary for Thursday, December 22nd. Futures little change to slightly lower here this morning ahead of final reading for Q3 GDP and a final reading on Q3 PCE coming up at 8:30 this morning. We'll also get November PCE month over month number coming up tomorrow, Friday morning at 8:30 as well. Here's how the futures are setting up though. Heading towards those numbers at 8:30, 0.25% to the downside for the S&P, 0.2 for the Dow, about 0.36 right now for the Nasdaq. Red though, right through to Brazil at this point. Crude oil on a bit of a bounce right now, 1.4 to the upside. And we continue to chop around when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum a little bit relatively weak so far this morning. Let's look at the overall market so far. We are trying to hold here a little bit higher if we can kind of work ourselves into a range, maybe a little bit constructive for the market. But obviously this uptrend we were enjoying since back in October, very much broken at this point for the S&P. All eyes on Micron this morning, all eyes on the chip group in general. Micron down about 2.25% right now. And it's all about the forecast going into next quarter. Wider than expected loss for Micron expected. They're still dealing with higher than expected inventories. So all of the chips downside here this morning on that report. We'll have a look at Google coming up. Needham, the latest, coming out with a negative note on Alphabet, chopping their price target quite significantly. We'll tell you about it at 8:30 this morning. Also, they straight up said they should spin off YouTube. That would benefit the stock completely. A lot of people might agree with that. Chinese ADR is back on a bounce this morning to the upside, led by the e-commerce names. Some of the EV makers not as strong, but Bloomberg reporting they're going to cut quarantine times for international travelers as soon as next month. There was also a note on Chinese securities regulators going to loosen some of the listing requirements in that country as well. Tesla doubling their current discounts on both the Model Y and Model 3 models in the U.S. to $7,500 now. Good time to buy a Tesla if you want one in the U.S. Another negative note here from Needham on Amazon as well. They cut their entire 2023 estimates for Amazon, saying there's more weakness to come. And a couple of little ones up on deals with bigger companies. PRQR up on a deal with Eli Lilly. This ORIC up on a development deal with Pfizer this morning. Grab the watch list, guys. Come join us then at 8:30. Remember, Q3 GDP coming up at 8:30. Going to be the big number of the day. We'll see you then on TraderTV.Live.